Alright, My Hero Academia Chapter 145 is titled Red Riot Part 2. We get to continue on with Kirishima's whole story where he's still in the past with his middle school self after the whole incident with the guy asking for directions.
So we open up, he's in his room, kind of exactly where the left off last place. He's marking out his goals. He's like, I don't want to be a UA student. I don't want to be a hero anymore. So he says, I'm no hero. I'm not manly at all.
He's like, I've always just acted tough, but I'm not actually like tough when the going gets tough.
Yeah.
And he then goes into like a whole like flashback of back when his quirk first emerged, where he said like when it first emerged, he was scratching his eye and he got his power, so it hardened his hand.
Yeah.
And he cut his eye. And he said, like, for, like, a few months afterwards, he kept crying that he hated his quirk. It was his hardening. But then he realized that his quirk was just like a Crimson Riot's power, who Ward Strong, was a hero of the people, and that's why he idolized him.
Yeah.
But as we've seen from the last chapter, he doubted himself. And he throws a book of his hero against the wall, which then activates this little, I guess, hologram thing. It just says it was an extra from one of the books he got for his birthday.
Yeah.
And it says this was his first time seeing it, so I guess he just didn't know. And it was like Crimson Riot just talking about like, of course I'm scared to do what I'm doing, but the thing is but his whole thing is that as long as you go in, don't regret any of your actions, even if you die, do it like a man.
Yeah, and I think like it just goes to show like another aspect of heroism that is talked about in My Hero Academia is like, doing what you need to do in the face of fear, kind of like having that courage to go on. And like I think here he just takes on like being a man is having that courage to fight in the face of fear, kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's kind of how which even like shows from like what we've seen of him so far, even though he always jumps in, never thinks about it, he's always just a tough guy.
Yeah,
he doesn't think too hard, which is kind of how it works. So
yeah, which is kind of like another like aspect of like the heroes that like they're heroes and that they're talking about in My Hero Academia. So like you get that, and like he's really moved and really inspired by.
Yeah, he gets the fire back under his belly, so we see that, and then he returns to school, where he goes to apologize to the girls that I was sorry, I was too scared to move, I shouldn't have helped.
And they're just like, well, who are you again? It's like, oh,
and then they're just like, I think he's from the same class, and Mina notices him.
They're just like, yeah, Mina's amazing. It's just like she's cool, and she's like, oh, cool.
Then we get to see the flashbacks of him training, him and Mina taking the exam, him getting his acceptance letter. I like how he like shows his hair too. Yeah, like he's obviously showing his hair like his hero, Crimson Riot, but he didn't change his hair until like he got accepted. It was almost like that was the goal. Like once he realized he was going into UA, he was just like, I could be like my hero. So he did his hair just like kind
of like a confirmation. It's like, yes, this is exactly where I'm going.
Even Mina calling, she's like, what is that hair? Like, what are you doing? And it was just like, now that I'm officially a UA student, I'm going to be just like my hero Red Riot. I'm going to protect everyone with my manly spirit.
He also says like he's ditching the old me, which is like the dark hair kind of sullen. Yeah. So he's like, I'm getting rid of that me. I'm going to become the protector and the savior of people.
And even Mina reminds him like, don't get too serious about it.
Yeah.
Don't take it so seriously, or else you're going to overwork yourself. She's like, just chill out. Have fun every once in a while, and he's even just like, thanks. So it's cool to see this, because you never before this, I never knew that they had this kind of relationship. It's never shown in the story before this, but apparently they have like a really good relationship, him and Amina. Not like a romantic, not like
it's just like a good
Deku and Urara, but
it's just a good like, hey, you got to make sure that like you relax while you're being a hero. Otherwise, you're gonna be uptight. You're never really gonna let go of the old.
You'll make a dumb mistake that you'll always
always regret. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, be ready to make mistakes. So after that, we go into him just like talking like like, now I'm a hero. I'll always do something without regretting it, even if I'm scared. As long as I go and do something, I can never really regret doing that action.
And he says, and it goes to say like whenever it like pans back, it's just him remembering. He's like, as long as I never, like, if I don't ever go back to how I was, then I'm good. Like, I don't ever want to regret anything ever again.
So we get back to him and Fat Gum. Yeah. And Fat Gum makes, like, the call, like, you lose because no one paid any need, neither to I nor you guys.
Yeah.
He's talking about how he, like, was the reason that they're about to lose. We find out that he does Fat Gum uses his, like, ultimate spear, which is that punch after absorbing all the hits. And basically knocks out both of The
Rappa and Ten guy, the shield guy, and Rappa, the fist.
We wrote names down this time.
Yeah, we got it. So Rappa, the fist guy, gets knocked out. Ten guy, the shield guy, sets up his like maximum barrier shield as strongly as he could, but
just gets knocked out from the gun. And
Gum.
even Fat Gum, like you guys lost to the manliest hero of them all, named Red Riot.
Yeah,
so
it was pretty.
That was the last page was definitely the coolest. Just seeing that
Yeah.
picture of him punching them away.
He's like holding Red Riot, or he's holding Kirishima, and he's like, "Yo, y'all lost to this guy," and he just punches him away.
Like, yeah, like you didn't lose to me. You lost because you underestimated this kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, even I underestimated him.
Yeah.
Like, he's the entire reason we won this fight. So a
like,
very good chapter. I'm glad that all came. So we got now 5 of the Yakuza have been defeated.
Mm-hmm.
So next fight, I'm assuming, is going to be Uraraka and Froppy.
Yeah.
The Frog Girl are going to be fighting next because it's only them and then Deku and the other guy.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna like the big 3. Then they're going to Kirishima. And now they're going to, or one of the big 3, Kirishima. I think they're gonna go to the other big 3 with Uraraka and
the second best, and then the first best. So.
Yeah. Which is I'm gonna look forward to, because like they haven't done anything with them in a while. They haven't really shown what they've been up to.
I'm super excited to see Uraraka fight. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
she's like cute, but she also has like a really good power. If you think like she defies the laws of physics.
Yeah, that's true.
This little girl defies the laws of physics by making anything heavy enough to, like, lighter than air.
Yeah.
So
like she has a really good driving force behind her. Like she wants to. Her character is just amazing. Like it's not just like one dimensional like you get with other stories. Like
yeah,
fleshed
I
out.
like this. There's like, cause usually with like big stories like this, you get a lot of characters, like the entire class of UA 1A, but each one is very drawn out. None are really put to the sideline too much, except for probably the grape guy
and the invisible girl.
And the invisible. I feel like I'm gonna speculate here, guys. I think the invisible girl is the traitor among UA.
That's
because if you imagine it. It can't be any of the teacher. It could be any of the other students because only teachers know about the information. But think about it: when they're having those faculty meetings, how would you ever know she was in there? All she would have to do is literally take off her clothes.
Yeah,
which we've seen her do during the training exercise.
And like, yeah, I like that theory, and I really do subscribe to that theory as well, because it just makes sense. Like, how was I forgot the hand guy's name.
I just call them the Association of Villains.
Yeah, how was the League of Villains? Sorry, Association of Villains. How were they able to get in through all the security codes? How were they able to do all these things? Like, you wonder all these things, and then you also key into the fact that she hasn't really been drawn out. She hasn't really had that many lines, except for like when she's talking to Kung Fu Tail guy. I forgot his name. His name is Kung Fu Tail guy from now on.
We're still a work in progress,
yeah.
So we apologize.
Don't worry, we don't have all the characters' names, but like we have the important characters that we're going to mention in the chapter. We'll work on that. But yeah, when she's like talking to him, he's like, yeah, I'm going to stand out the most, kind of like as a kind of side comedy relief kind of thing.
Yeah, she's like, you know what, we got to fight him, let's get serious. I'm going to take off all of my clothes, which is just a pair of shoes and gloves.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, and even he was just like, it's weird knowing there's a naked girl in the room, but like you would never know where she is.
Exactly.
And that's why she's like super offensive capable. Yeah. So I assume like when they finally reveal the traitor, it has to be her. I think. I don't think
her or like someone else. That has to be.
I can't think of another teacher.
Exactly.
Like, the only one I could maybe think of is the ectoplasm teacher, just because he can make more of himself, so he can be in multiple places at once.
Yeah.
And we don't know if like they share like certain things. Like maybe he could be at the meeting hearing things, and then the other clone can hear that and like share it too. So. It's very interesting to think about.
Yeah, it's a very good theory. But for now, great chapter. I like where they're at. They're just going to continue to develop the characters that we have and really give them some good stuff. Really show some awesome action scenes. And like the art, again, just whenever like the action scenes are taking place, absolutely amazing.
The last page was beautiful. The final punch of Fat Gum.
Just showing like everything breaking and like him just screaming out.
And, the reason y'all lost was because of this kid that you paid no attention to.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, so moving on to Dr. Stone, chapter